We are live. We're live, baby. Good morning. Welcome to today's gathering of the minds. We're gonna have breakfast together. We're gonna pray. We're gonna commune. We're gonna meditate. We're gonna plan, strategize for the day. Today is gonna be an excellent day. I feel great. Rocking my Harachis, my brand new joints. Waited the whole week to get them. So I could throw them on. You know what I mean? Gotta eat. That's important. Can't force my voice. Uh, I need some fresh water. And I got some cold water. I paid $1.19 for this. 33.8 ounces, almost 34 ounces. It's a very good deal. Because now for my clients, if a client says they want a water and I show up with that, they're going to be super excited, super happy. I'm always thinking about my clients. How can I make it better for them? You know what I mean? Sausage muffin with cheese, hash brown. One ketchup. I'm supposed to be eating ketchup like that. This week I've had a lot of ketchup. Next week, gotta cut down. Life is a balance. I feel great. Today's one of those days, like just woke up, looking forward to everything. Woke up ready to go. One of the keys to success in McDonald's is that everything is standardized, everything is formatted. And because of that, it can be cleaned every day. That preserves it. Very amazing. Mhm. Very amazing. My store is being cleaned right now as we speak. I'm spraying it down. I invested yesterday for today. I could leave here. I could catch the 8:05 or the 8:35. Probably the 8:35. Make it to swim, work out. Catch either the 9:15 or the 10:15. Make it back. I'm eager to show up earlier, but I wouldn't be able to do that without sacrificing what is most important, which is my time of prayer. Sabbatical begins tonight for me. Everything I produce today will go into the liabilities of the business. Now I'll be all set to go. Good morning. God bless. Today's going to be an excellent day. Today I'm going to research, I'm going to study, stay focused on my business all day today. No distractions, something I'm getting a lot better at, especially in the business dynamic. It can get hectic, easy to get lost. Can't afford to do that today. Amazing. I think on a stress level, I'm at least 88% less. That's an amazing accomplishment. Overall, like a 90 something. But just the last few days, I had to make a lot of different business decisions. Again, allow an empty space to fill itself. You know what I mean? I have to be strategic. A lot to reflect on, you know. A lot to contemplate. They go to C5, looking like from the future, because that's exactly what it is. Hmm. Could I challenge myself to go catch the 805 bus? I could, but at the end of the day, the 835 is right there. It's pointless. I know how to live and let live. My competitive nature, of course, is telling me, yo, at this. No. I allow myself to have the thought. I can express it. Doesn't mean I'm going to act on it. Yesterday, I wanted to eat a whole chicken, 8 pieces. I could have, almost did, but I still chose not to. I knew that it wasn't going to be the best thing, based on what my goals were. Yesterday, I really didn't have any dinner. I ate some hot fries. I ate one bag of these, and I got one for free. This took my appetite. Took medicine, taught a class, I laid down. Medicine put me to sleep. Good breakfast in the morning, which I am because I ate, hash browns, muffin with cheese. I have a medium coffee, and I still have some of them left. It's tempting to try to get across that parking lot in 10 minutes, but chances are I'll get there exactly at the moment that the bus is pulling away. And then I have to wait 30 minutes, which is good because I take that time to pray, meditate, and kind of build from there. You know what I mean? It's a lot to take into consideration. A lot to process at one time. I think having an onboard computer, right, like a management system, is important to administrate oneself, right? What are the known factors, the unknown factors? What are the stressing factors? What are the creative, the productive factors? Anytime you're dealing with something like that, I have a lot that I want to take care of in a sense. I have some clothing I want to donate to charity, and I have everything in one place. I have some things I'm going to hold on to, but I have some things I want to give away as well. And I have taken my time to sort out everything and leave everything, nice condition, nice, clean, pressed and stuff like that. And it's an emotional thing because I know it's gonna help somebody the same way that I've been blessed and I've been helped. It's a lot to consider, take into consideration. You could consider something, meaning you could think about it and not take it into consideration more deeply, right? This is something that I just know it's like donating to charity. Somehow, some way it's gonna help somebody. And that's very important, man. Where I am in this journey today is day 29, the beginning of my new life, the beginning of my new life. It's a powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing, man. This peace of mind that I have is what I wanted, is what I prayed for. Now I'm reflecting on it. Again, things are still not perfect. I still have some goals for the next few days. I know transportation is non existent on Sunday, so if I'm going to travel, I have to travel by Saturday evening so that I can still be able to travel, get across town, go do a few things across town, then come back. So it's a lot to take into consideration. At the same time, I have like that sense of the freedom, just being able to go out there for a day, stay on that side of town, handle some things on that side of town, and come back. Really, all roads are leading for me to go out of town. And I told myself I was going to do the best that I could over the next few days, save as much as I could before I even make that decision. You know, First things first is my goal for this week was to handle a few of my responsibilities. And once I did that, then I could pray for clarity, for wisdom to understand if maybe that's the best decision that I could make. And as far as I'm concerned, I think I've done the right thing, just taking my time, just not stressing myself over something that ultimately is out of my control. Could I have made it to the 805? I think so. But would I have been able to capture this moment? Absolutely not. You know, Small things like that. I have a lot to contemplate on. I understand certain dynamics of certain things, and naturally, I want to be competitive, but it's a no win situation. What I'm trying to compete with has already been defeated. And it has been defeated based upon my understanding of that situation. Why is there a part of me still trying to make the point? It's basically something I'm just allowing myself to process but not engage upon. I can think about it, I can perceive it, I can analyze it, I can process it, but in the end, it has no value, no sentimental value, no emotional value, no mental value, no spiritual value. Um, it's just a illusion. It's a empty chamber. There's nothing there. We already fully understand, the power of influence and the power of intimidation. Sometimes people can be intimidated. I have Michael Jordan on my team, right? It's kind of like the same thing. Like some people will say, "What a great blessing we have Michael Jordan on the team." Some people will say, "Don't pass him the ball." It's not my position. It's not my place to engage in that depth. Um, some people can even be energetic vampires. Constantly just draining the situation and draining the situation. I'm happy that I have a different sense or a different outlook, different perspective, because I know how to disengage and to an extreme. I can be very introverted. I could just zone out and just mind my own business. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't realize what you do for them, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. And it's better to know the variables, you know what I'm saying, than anything else. When I'm making this decision, it will be based on those factors because I've been very successful. I've been able to establish a lot of things, yet there's still a lot of things that I'm learning every day. Every day I'm building a new piece of the mosaic, right? And that is important to allow yourself to understand that it is a process. Right now, I'm on a journey that is spiritual overall. Sometimes the dream gets closer, sometimes the dream moves away. My goals are so simple and so clear, yet still it can be challenging to allow yourself to understand that, things take time. There's no better way to express that, there's no better way to deal with that other than to deal with that, deal with the fact that it's gonna be like that. It's gonna take time. And as entrepreneurs, we go through what we call the uncomfortable phase, right? We're gonna go through that uncomfortable phase, and all we can do is go through the process. This is the building phase, you know what I'm saying? This is the, this is the moment where you may even question why you started in the first place. You may even forget the the human psyche has a way of healing, right? And part of that healing is when it heals, it's like a spot weld, right? So it heals one little part, one little part, one little part. And then over time, it may go back and re strengthen the seal, right? So for me, this is part of reflecting on that moment, going back to the spot wells, right? Analyzing it, processing it, allowing myself to be human. It's not easy to look back. Even the spot wells, even with all the layers that you go over, you still know there's so many layers of healing. There's so many things you have to tighten down and bolt together, right? And then weld over. That is representative of where I am in my life right now. You know, the way that I perceive it is the way that I've experienced it. I could be right, I could be wrong. There's no up, there's no down, there's no left, there's no right. There's no inside, there's no outside. There's no x axis, there's no y axis. You know, there just is this lingering emotion and feeling, these thoughts going through this entire process. We can block out certain things in order for the healing to happen. It's like we shut down those emotions so the healing can take place while we focus on new things that are more positive, which is what gives us the wealth, the actual bonding strip, right? Think about the movie, the Pixar movie, Toy Story, you know, that's what allows the bonding strip to be able to be put down. When I started this journey, I had nothing. I still have nothing now, but I have nothing now in a different way. My nothing right now is more complete than my nothing was about a month ago. 29 days to be exact. There was so much chaos and confusion and doubt, worry, and concern, just murky waters, right? Muddy waters, right? And now it's like I have a system, you know. I have shelter, I have a stream of income. I'm surrounded by good people that are figuring out a lot of things about life, but I am surrounded by God's people. I have excellent clients. Um, I've built a nice system as far as like the community for myself. You know, I'm impacting the environment. I'm being an influential figure in a positive way. I've been able to be a source of inspiration and motivation for millions of people doing these master classes on a regular basis. I do it every day. Planning for the future, contemplating exactly how I'm going to do things. It's not that everything is perfect, you know what I mean? It's the fact that at least things are in motion. And every day I'm pushing forward to try to make a better product, a better service, establish a better business, a better franchise, a better investment, a better opportunity. Everything on the up and up, everything positive. Doesn't mean I'm a machine because I'm not. Well, I'm partially a machine, but you know, I pursue things systematically now, not just I'm gonna crash and burn just because I have the opportunity to crash and burn. I don't want to do that. In 29 days, my body shut down two times. I was forced to take time off. One time, if I'm not mistaken, the first time it had been 20 something days in. The second time, it was only 8 days later. So I learned a valuable lesson not to over exceed, you know, what I'm able to do on a daily basis. And this has been a major part of it. Just expressing this, just breaking this down, journaling everything, processing everything, um, going back to the journals when I can. Sometimes I just erase them and I delete them, but they have served their purpose. Once they're, you know, once that thought is captured, then that's it. All the potential can begin to happen. It can flourish from there. And I'm proud of myself for the peace of mind that I feel. I feel so much better. Doesn't mean things are perfect because I have many goals that I'm still striving for. But hopefully, this can help, even if it helps one person. And it goes back to the concept of this is still day one. For me, this is still day one. I'm still learning. You know, the goals that I have won't take more than 2 months to accomplish. Yet I have to go through those 2 months. Remember, this is day 29 of the next, if it was 90 days, for example, right, I still have 61 days to go. So now that could be a mantra, right? That could be a terminology I could use for myself and say, okay, 61 days to go, 60 days to go. Now it's a countdown versus in the beginning it was a count up. Now it's a countdown, right? Now I can peel back the layers and go step by step by step by step. And just kind of take it from there, you know? Just kind of take it from there, build from there, and, you know, kind of go from there, man. Now, at this alert but calm, peaceful state of mind, I can look back at certain things and reflect on certain things and basically move forward. You know, I can cherry pick where I want that healing to happen. As long as I'm keeping track of it, I know what to focus on and say, okay, I saw myself being hyper competitive, but I'm being hyper competitive in the wrong realm. My formula to success is a long term one. What am I going to solve short term? How can I give an example to a person that's not even open to that? And I have family members that fit that psychological profile so perfectly that I'm like, I'm dealing with the same person. So now the question becomes, how would I deal with that person? How would I deal with that circumstance? How would I deal with that situation? In the exact same way, Tai Chi. Freight train, move out of the way. If this is my parking space, you can have the whole parking lot. If this is my slice of cheesecake, you can have the entire dairy farm. If this is my perspective, you're the only one allowed to have a perspective. It doesn't matter how big or how small the situation is. If this is the comfort zone, now I know where the true comfort zone is. And I can mirror the situation and just reflect it back. What is that going to do? That's going to send the situation into a scramble. People are going to try to adjust, adjust, adjust. The problem is they don't know what to adjust to because the adjustments are internal and there has to be a desire. God kind of built the human body that way, you know what I mean? So by me trying to execute on the situation in a way that is confrontational but direct would be a failure because it's the wrong tool set for the wrong set of gears. It's like using a flathead when you know what you really need is a Phillips screwdriver. Yeah, the flathead could work, but it could also damage the bolts. It's using an Allen key when you really need a torque wrench. It's Mickey Mousing, 5, 6 different components to make a tool that doesn't really exist, and it's for a reason, and only because it's not in your arsenal or it's not at your disposal. I remember one of my business partners. We were working on a car. We had gotten into like an automotive investment, right? Like a mechanic shop, which I've had before, but this was different because this one was maintenance. I never had one that I opened just for maintenance. I grew to invest to get some businesses for maintenance. Well, there was an engine assembly that was taking place, and I kept asking for the torque bar. They kept pointing. I wasn't seeing what I was looking for. The torque bar that I was looking for is the ones that I use that have the digital readout. These are just clicks. These are just click. Like it'll make the sound, but it didn't have a meter or any type of digital output. And Eventually, after I got tired of asking so many times, this person was like, "Oh, use this one," and I'm like, "This shit is not digital. How the fuck you want?" You know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to working on high end cars, so this was not a high end car. So I understood. Oh, okay, I get it. It's the filter. It's the way that this person, these people, or this collective is viewing things. It's not necessary to buy the Mercedes Benz computer that costs $4 or $5,000 but plugs into every Mercedes ever made and can tell you everything about every Mercedes ever made, like all the manuals. Dios lo bendiga, primo. Gracias. Um, all of the instruction, all the Haynes manuals are built into it, right? So it's like it's the factory unit. But most people will get the $2,500 machine. They'll buy one used for 1,500. They'll download some shit on the internet for 700, $800. Anything they could do to save $1, because that's the filter. That's the mentality. If I own a Mercedes, I don't expect you to be a Mercedes certified dealer. But if you have those machines, I know that you know exactly what you're doing and you're serious. You're at least willing to make the effort. You're at least willing to follow the guidelines that Mercedes, the people that make the car, will follow. So in this situation, I have to be a human being. I have to say, you know what? Where is this inclination coming from? Oh, okay, I get it. I want to defuse a bomb. I want to build a better system. I want to be part of the curation of the improvement of the healing. I want to create hope. I want to create strength. I want to create stability. I'm trying to heal somebody's wounds. I'm trying to heal somebody's pain. So everything has gone full circle, and the outlines are very clear. You have to be clear with people like this. You have to be direct. And approaching the situation and handling it the way that I was is inappropriate, unacceptable, unnecessary, unwarranted, uncalled for, and a complete, total waste of time. Therefore, I give myself the praise for recognizing this and learning from these behavior patterns. Now I have the complete blueprint on how to move forward. Let it be. Because within a matter of weeks, at maximum capacity, I will have nothing to do with anything that's going on. And nothing is going to change because that type of growth comes from within. And I am nobody to impose that on anybody or implement affect that in any way, not in the smallest way, not in the biggest way. It has to be something that every person has to go through their journey, they have to go through their process, they have to reach that plateau where there's no more growth. They have to acknowledge there's no more growth. And then they have to ask themselves, where could I find more growth? It's going to almost always start inside. And just by me being consistent with everything that I do is enough because it goes back to the same principle. Now, ask me this question: would I still be able to be successful and reach all of my goals if I adjust um, one of the many, many small things that I can adjust? The answer is absolutely yes. So that's your answer right there. I cannot sacrifice myself to try to better a situation that does not want to be improved upon. I can name 5 things that I could do differently within that investment to make it more successful and to avoid all of the pitfalls that are sure to come. As a matter of fact, yesterday, it was a pivotal moment. It was a pivotal, not encounter, but counter of what was happening. Now, I made decisions that at the time may have seemed challenging, and they were challenging. But once I made those decisions, I didn't have to uh, stay in the fact that I made that decision. I didn't have to be stuck at that moment. Like, I said it, release it, and I forget it. Decision is made, moving forward. That's it. Life goes on. And I'm happy that I made the decision. Now it's the reversal, the dynamic of the conscious and subconscious, right? Now the decision is made, so now it's the opposite. I'm looking for a reason to revert my decision. I'm not looking for a way to emphasize why the decision was made, when the decision was made, what the stipulations were, what were the data points that drew the necessity to make that decision. The necessity to make that decision has been clear from day one. This is nothing new. This is day 29. It's not day one. It's not day two. It's not week one. It's not week two. That is very important to knowingly grasp the concept and understand that concept. I feel in my heart I have conveyed everything I wanted to convey to all of you guys. My golden chariot is on the way, and I want to thank all of you for taking out of your valuable and precious time. May you have an amazing day today. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into solid gold and silver bars and beautiful and precious gemstones such as moissanite and laboratory grown diamonds. Always remember to dream big because dreams come true. It happened to me, and I know for a fact it's going to happen to you. Now, venture out with me. We'll go back on the podcast and the radio show, and we'll make our way to prayer, meditation, healing, and when the time is right, we will continue to the next chapter. God bless.